Hi guys, so this is going to be a wee kind of review slash kind of troubleshoot video about the thrustmaster CPX adapter. The reason why I'm making this video is because the information that I tried to gather before getting this product and still ended up kind of biting the bullet and buying it anyway. And to be honest, if you're buying a £70 kind of £70 adapter with £350 pedals, I mean, it can be a big kind of £400 plus mistake that you can make, and obviously, hopefully, if you're looking for any information, I can answer it here. So, anyway, start off with saying the CPX adapter is absolutely phenomenal. There is no other product out there in the market that does this sort of thing. Pretty much what it does, what the CPX adapter does, is it allows you to adapt Fanatic pedals to a Thrustmaster servo, whether that's the TX, T500, T300, or whether you're using like kind of Club Sport pedals. For example, I'm using the Club Sport V3 pedals with the Thrustmaster TX servo. Again, like I say, obviously that means that you don't need to use your pedals as like standalone or whatever. And it can plug in, so obviously if you're a console player like myself, you can kind of get the best of both worlds. Now, setup, I was one of the lucky ones. Well, I don't know if maybe it's just all the new sort of CPX adapters that are coming out that are perfectly fine, but from what I've seen in the forums and a couple of videos, people have had a couple of issues when they receive the CPX adapter. A lot of people are plugging them in and finding the odd wee kind of tweak kind of problem they're getting with it. For example, I've looked in the forums, I've seen a couple of people have they've received it, they've plugged it all in, they are getting no power to their pedals are not working, they're racing for 5-10 minutes, their accelerators are dropping out, or when they set it up, they're getting this kind of confused kind of pedal kind of situation going on where their brakes on, or their brakes, or that's their accelerator, and your accelerators, your clutch and whatever. Cracking example of that there would be a video I'll link in the description from a channel called Dragon Games. Guy's absolutely brilliant, actually gave me quite a lot of information on this product before I received it. So pretty much what happened with Dragon Games, he received his, and his pedals were completely kind of goosed up. His brake wasn't his brake, it was his accelerator or whatever, or his clutch. It wasn't working properly. From what I've seen in the forums, and obviously in Dragon Games' kind of circumstances and situations, that they've all been fixed by firmware upgrades. They've all been just like plug into the computer, download firmware, done, sorted, plug it back in, ready to go. This took me maybe about 3 hours to set up, 3 or 4 hours to actually set up the entire kit. But to be honest, if I knew a wee bit more about the product, this would have been set up in 15 minutes. Now, I'll talk you through the kind of setup regime I go through every time I get the CPX adapter up. Again, it is supposed to be a plug and play kind of device, but it's not as easy as just plug in whatever you want to jump in your seat and get ready to kind of race. It doesn't work that way. What I do is, and what I believe is in the PDF instructions, is what I'll do is I'll plug in the wheel and the servo, the servo and the pedals into the CPX adapter. And then what I'll do is I'll plug in the power supply into the CPX adapter. CPX adapter doesn't work. You don't run the power supply off the servo unit itself, like the pedals would. It needs its own separate power supply. So I actually have that running directly into my Xbox One. So I can be running into your Xbox One, your PS3, PC, whatever, PS4, whatever it's got, it can plug in dead easy. So that's number one. You want to be sticking that in and turning that on. Nothing else should be on at this point. No Xbox or servo should be on at this point. Then what I'll do is I will plug in and turn on the servo. Have that turned on, and then I'll plug the servo into the Xbox and turn the Xbox on. If this is done any other way, what will happen is your pedals, like I said before, will be in this kind of confused state. which Dragon Games really kind of goes into depth in, where obviously your pedals are just the wrong way around pretty much. They don't work. Now, the reason why it took me about 3 hours to kind of set this thing up is, at first it was working fine, but what I found was that again, if I had a little bit more information on this product, I'd have knew what was wrong. So pretty much, talk you through the pedals. The Club Sport V3 pedals. What you've got is you have obviously clutch, brake, accelerator. Now on both your accelerator and brake, you have these wee kind of rumblers just here, and what they do is they simulate the kind of feeling of ABS and throttle through the simulator. Now, if you're kind of going to get this sort of thing, now the throttle and ABS, this was, and obviously the load cell as well in the brake, that this was a key component to why I bought this product, because obviously if you're into kind of sim racing, you want it to feel as simulated as possible. You want it to feel exactly like racing and driving, and obviously if that's feeling ABS kicking in and the throttle, that's, these things are brilliant. Again, Fanatic, there's no other really product out there that has the kind of throttle rumbler and the ABS rumbler and whatever. The ABS rumbler can actually be, it can be kind of tuned down, tuned up and adapted via the CPX adapter. You'll see just these two knobs here. And what they do is pretty much you'll be able to actually adjust to where your ABS will kick in, whether it kicks in there, whether it kicks in there, wherever you want to kick it in. Now, the problem I had was, as I set it all up, everything was all set up nice, brilliant. ABS kicking in like it should, adjusted that. And then I realised that the throttle rumble wasn't working. Doesn't matter, what game I was using. I went into the settings of the games to try and see if there was any way I could turn it on. I automatically thought, right, the pedals need some sort of upgrade. Obviously, with this sort of kit, sometimes it isn't just plug and play. You're going to need to firmware upgrade it to its latest kind of software before it's going to work, or at least work properly anyway. Things can get kind of confused. So I went onto the computer, I downloaded firmware upgrades for it to find that it was already at the latest firmware updates. I then thought, right, okay, it's going to be the CPX adapter. Looked in the forums for a good hour, 2 hours to try and see if I can find anything. Again, couldn't find anything. Just ended up setting the thing up and playing it like it was. To find out 3 days later, and again, this is already after I've spent £400 on this product, for the key part of it being that the throttle control works, and the brake, you want it to, what I wanted was the best sort of simulator out there, the best sort of kind of simulation anyway. I found out 3 days later pretty much that this doesn't work. This is something that doesn't work with a CPX adapter, because there is no way, obviously with the CPX adapter you've got the kind of knobs where you let this work. This, you can, the ABS will work perfectly fine because you've got the knobs to kind of change that. Throttle rumble on the other hand, not so much. So there's no way that the throttle can speak to the servo, or the servo can speak to the throttle to tell the throttle when the wheels are spinning or whatever. So there's no way of that kind of building up the kind of vibrations to rumble you, the throttle anyway. I looked on where I found this out was the Basherboards forums. It took me 3 days to navigate through the Basherboard forums to eventually find it, but I eventually found the information obviously I needed, and obviously it states that it just doesn't work. Now again, this was the sort of thing I was looking for. This was actually one of the main things I was looking for before I even bought the product, but couldn't find it. So I actually posted on Basherboard forums about 2 weeks ago to see, because there was talk of a firmware upgrade to actually have the throttle work off a kind of linear movement like the brake does. So obviously the further down the throttle, the more kind of rumble you get. But there's really, I pretty much posted a reply on it just to see if there was such an update, if there is going to be such an update, if it's in if it's in progress or whatever. But again, so far the past kind of couple of weeks, the forums have just been like, nobody's been really answering. So I don't know if there's kind of administration problems or whatever, but hopefully they get back to me soon. Can I recap the product? Again, absolutely phenomenal product. Hopefully can answer all your guys' questions. Like I say, there's no other sort of product out there that will do what the CPX adapter does. What I will say is, as soon as I get the money up for it, old lucky TX is getting chucked out, and I will be getting the Club Sport servo and the Club Sport kind of wheel, because obviously I will have the pedals working as they should perfectly. That will also bring me to the TH8 shifter. I'm not a big fan of the Fanatic kind of shifters. Really not a big fan of the shifters at all. So I really do like the kind of thrustmaster shifter. So I will need to get an adapter to adapt the shifter into the Fanatic servo. But again, obviously, if you're getting all of this, the Fanatic pedals, the Fanatic servo, the Fanatic, all the works, you're going to be spending a lot of money. £1,500–2,000 just to get a kind of set up. Now I've really not been into kind of driving simulating or driving sims for long at all. And again, what I will say is, maybe not for everybody. Maybe if you want to kind of keep the cost low, this is a cracking sort of kit. You're going to get the most out of you're definitely going to get the most out of the kind of TX servos, your thrustmaster servos with this adapter and the pedals. Definitely, obviously, these are far superior to the thrustmaster pedals. But again, if you're looking out there for the best sort of kits and stuff like that, what I will say is just skip the CPX adapter. Get yourself a Fanatic kind of servo. Get yourself a Fanatic pair of pedals. Again, if you like the sort of shifter, like the TH8 thrustmaster shifter. Basherboards also have an adapter on their website that you can buy that will let you adapt this shifter to the Fanatic Club Sport servo. So again, you might not be buying the CPX, but you've also got this other product out there that will do, you've got other sort of products on their websites that will allow you to do that sort of stuff. But again, just be aware if you are getting that sort of stuff, it's going to set you back a lot. You're going to be spending a lot of money. Anyway, so I think that's me kind of covered everything. Again, like I say, Dragon Games, his video and his channel is going to be linked in the description. If it's not already up, it will be up. I'm going to be doing a full sort of rig review on the rig I'm using just now. And again, like I say, fingers crossed I've kind of answered any of your questions if you've got any. So thanks very much.